Sutton Stracke dragged by RHOBH viewers. You and Garcelle are pot stirrers. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills viewers are getting tired of Sutton Stracke's antics, especially after the latest episode. The Southern Belle is getting dragged on social media, and her bestie Garcelle Beauvais is right there with her. The duo, known for being blunt and outspoken, have been speaking their piece about the Kyle Richards versus Dorit Kemsley drama. However, now they're getting called out for being pot stirrers. People are coming to Kyle's defense after things got so heated at Bozoma St. John's event that she eventually stormed out. The cast, minus Erika Jayne, was going full force at the OG, questioning the text messages between her and PK. Sutton and Garcelle were the most vocal as usual, not only when Kyle was at the event, but also after she left. However, RHOBH fans are calling out the duo for their behavior. Sutton Stracke gets dragged by RHOBH viewers for her behavior. Sutton posted a few behind-the-scene photos from Episode 8, A Perfect Storm, urging her followers to tune in. Viewers did just that, and they didn't miss Sutton's shady comments aimed at her so-called friend, Kyle, when she stormed out of the group outing. People took to the comments in defense of the OG, dragging Sutton for her behavior. "Sutton, you are nobody's friend. You are the queen of kick them when they're down," wrote a commenter. "Why should anyone bow down to your altar? You're supposed to be friends. She's not allowed a breakdown," questioned someone else. People also mentioned Garcelle's role in the drama, with one commenter writing, "And whose business was it except Kyle's and Dorit's about the text? But you and Garcelle are pot stirrers." Another added, "Wow, you and Garcelle are so messy this season. Trying to insinuate Kyle was inappropriate with her husband's friend. Shame on y'all old selves. Apparently most of you have no storyline, so you all are using the Kyle/Dorit situation for yours. And it's boring now," said someone else. Kyle is still in the hot seat. Kyle has been feeling the heat this season, and it's not over yet. Episode 9, Beach Keen, will pick up where things left off. Garcelle and Bozoma are convinced that Kyle is in the wrong by communicating with PK, and when the OG shared their text exchange, her castmates were left with more questions. The 56-year-old didn't get to address anything at Bozoma's event due to her abrupt departure, but the conversation is far from over. In the next episode, Garcelle invites the ladies to her beach house, and the conversation continues as Kyle tries to explain herself to Garcelle and Sutton. Sutton Stracke is no stranger to controversy on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, RHOBH. This season, however, it seems she's facing more backlash than ever, as viewers accuse her and her close friend Garcelle Beauvais of being pot stirrers. The accusations came to a head after a dramatic dinner party that left fans divided and social media ablaze with opinions. The dinner party in question started innocently enough. Hosted by Dorit Kemsley at her lavish Beverly Hills estate, the evening was meant to be a celebration of friendship. But with the RHOBH ladies, no gathering is ever just that. Tensions began simmering when Sutton casually mentioned Kyle Richards' ongoing marital troubles with Mauricio Umansky, a subject that had been whispered about but never fully addressed in the group. "I just think it's odd that Kyle and Mauricio haven't made a public statement together," Sutton remarked as she sipped her glass of white wine. "If it were me, I'd want to squash the rumors immediately." Garcelle, seated next to Sutton, nodded in agreement. "It does make you wonder what's really going on," she added, her tone measured but her words undeniably provocative. The comment landed like a bombshell at the table. Kyle, who had been uncharacteristically quiet for most of the evening, finally spoke up. "I'm going through a lot right now," she said, her voice tinged with frustration. "The last thing I need is my friends speculating about my marriage." Erika Jayne, never one to miss an opportunity to stir the pot herself, jumped in. "But Kyle, if it's out there in the press, isn't it fair game?" she asked, her perfectly arched eyebrow raised in mock innocence. What followed was a heated exchange that saw Sutton and Garcelle on the defensive. Sutton insisted that her comment wasn't meant to be malicious. "I was just saying what everyone's already thinking," she explained, her southern drawl adding a touch of charm to her apology. Garcelle, meanwhile, took a more direct approach. "If we can't talk about real issues, then what's the point of being friends?" she asked, looking around the table for support. But support was in short supply. Dorrit, always one to play peacemaker, tried to diffuse the tension by changing the subject, but the damage had already been done. By the end of the evening, the group was more fractured than ever, and viewers were quick to take sides. On social media, the fallout was immediate. "Sutton and Garcelle are so messy for that," one Twitter user wrote. "They're always starting drama and then acting like they're innocent." Another viewer chimed in, "Kyle has every right to be upset. Sutton and Garcelle are pot stirrers, plain and simple." However, not everyone was against Sutton and Garcelle. Many fans applauded them for keeping the show interesting. "Let's be real, without Sutton and Garcelle, this season would be boring," one Instagram commenter argued. "They're just saying what everyone else is too scared to say." The divide among fans mirrors the growing divide within the group. In her confessional, Sutton addressed the accusations head-on. "I'm not a pot stirrer," she insisted, her voice tinged with indignation. "I'm just not afraid to speak the truth. If that makes people uncomfortable, so be it." Garcelle echoed a similar sentiment in her own confessional. "I'm not here to sugarcoat things," she said, her gaze steady. "If that means I'm labeled a pot stirrer, fine. But I'd rather be honest than fake." Despite their defenses, it's clear that Sutton and Garcelle's approach is causing ripples within the group. Lisa Rinna, who's had her fair share of confrontations with Sutton in the past, couldn't resist throwing shade. "Sutton loves to act like she's above the drama," Rinna said in her confessional. "But let's be real, she's usually the one starting it." The tension reached a boiling point during a subsequent lunch meeting between Sutton, Garcelle, and Kyle. Determined to clear the air, Sutton began the conversation with an apology. "Kyle, I'm sorry if what I said hurt you," she began, her tone earnest. "That was never my intention." Kyle, however, was not ready to forgive and forget. "It's not just about what you said," she replied, her voice firm. "It's about the pattern. This isn't the first time you've brought up something personal in front of the group. It feels like you're trying to embarrass me." Garcelle jumped to Sutton's defense. "That's not fair, Kyle," she interjected. "Sutton's not the only one who's talked about your marriage. Everyone's been speculating. She just had the guts to say it to your face." But Kyle was unmoved. "There's a difference between gossiping behind someone's back and bringing it up at a dinner party," she argued. "What you two did was calculated." The lunch ended with no resolution, and the fallout continued to play out on social media. Fans dissected every moment, with some praising Sutton and Garcelle for their honesty and others condemning them for their perceived meddling. As the season progresses, it's clear that the drama is far from over. Sutton and Garcelle remain unapologetic, determined to stay true to themselves despite the backlash. Whether that approach will earn them redemption or further alienate them from the group remains to be seen. One thing is certain, love them or hate them, Sutton and Garcelle are keeping RHOBH as dramatic as ever. And for a show that thrives on conflict, that might just be the ultimate compliment.